Okay, my friends, we have come to the end. So let's take a look in our course pack and let's have a look at what we've done this week. Let's review, make sure that we're all on the same page. So even if weren't here or we're separated or we're at home, we've got 100% buy-in and understanding of all the important points that we were trying to cover. Do you remember those questions we considered at the beginning of our instruction? Well, we should know what CAD stands for, and we should know why CAD is faster than traditional hand drafting. We should know that Autocad is a specific software product, and it's been around since the 80s, and it's the most widely used CAD software in the world. AutoCAD's not cheap. It costs about $4,000 to buy in, and then about $1,000 a year to maintain. And currently, AutoCAD is doing subscription, which means basically you pay for every copy by the month if you are a company. Students, though, can get a free copy of AutoCAD by going to www.autodesk.com/education/home. What sorts of things are drawn using CAD software? Well, anything that's built, fabricated, manufactured, designed, all these things have to be drawn before they can go into production. We saw lots of things that could be made from CAD software too, with things like plasma cutters and 3D printers and lasers. We know raster graphics are those pixelated images that your cell phone takes or that Microsoft Paint creates, whereas AutoCAD uses vector graphics to create geometry and perfect drawings. AutoCAD uses DWG files, right? It saves DWG files and it opens DWG files. You should save your AutoCAD drawing often because doing work over and over is the pits. And we saw a bunch of different ways to create lines and circles, right? Those basic drawing tools where you can click on the tool, or you could type out the command line, circle, or you could type out the shortcut L for line, C for circle. And then finally, here's one of the big takeaways for the week. When is it okay to eyeball things when you're drawing in AutoCAD? Well, the answer is never. Never eyeball things. You've got to learn how to be accurate and use the tools that will give you some accuracy. Okay, our Unit 9 Introduction to Computer-Aided Drafting, we did navigate the AutoCAD user interface. We did create a drawing. We opened a drawing. We have the ability to plot and save drawings. You use the ribbon. You use the draw, select, and erase tools on the ribbon. You also understand hopefully about good file management, why it's important to be organized about the way you save your files. We work with line and circle this week, as well as erase. We learned how to set up the grid and use snap mode to be accurate. You also worked with pan and zoom. Right? On page 9.3, we should understand how the ribbon is broken into tabs, and the tabs are broken into panels, and each panel has individual tools on it. And then the button at the top here will make the ribbon minimized or maximized so that people who are very familiar with AutoCAD can make the ribbon tinier and have more space to draw in. On page 9.5, you have the different parts of the AutoCAD interface, and I would encourage you to fill in the blanks based on the information we looked at. Creating new drawings with the Start Drawing button is one way. You can also click on the plus sign at the end of the tabs to create a brand new drawing file. We saw it was important to be aware of where we save our drawings so they don't get lost. And then file management means keeping your files organized. The hamburger down in the bottom right of the status bar is what shows you what drawing tools are available. And before we start drawing, right, this thing should be opened up and we should put a check mark in front of every tool so we can see every tool. The tools that are on are blue. The tools that are deactivated or off are gray. And we want to turn off all the tools that we don't know how to use. The other change we want to make before we start working in AutoCAD is we want to make sure that the command line is not a single little wimpy line in the middle of the screen, but that we've docked it down the bottom. It's expanded across the whole screen, and we can read 3 or 4 lines of text here. We saw how to zoom in and out of objects and how to pan objects. We talked about selecting with windows, with crossing windows, by picking, by making a lasso, crossing lasso. We went over how to set up the grid and which settings are important to adjust. We also talked about snap mode because we just cannot hide mistakes in AutoCAD. Right, so our snap mode should match the grid, and if we do that, we'll have precise drawing. So, review AutoCAD. It's an important tool to know how to use. If you're going to be involved in any kind of technical or STEM field, uh, if you don't use AutoCAD, you'll probably be creating drawings with something that works just exactly like it. It's never acceptable to eyeball it when you're drawing in CAD because the zoom tool is just way too powerful. Snap mode and grid are two ways to draw with perfect accuracy. And make sure you save your work often to a secure place. So this concludes our week 1 instruction for industrial drawing B12. Make sure you've got the file and assignments necessary for your instructor that he's going to require or she's going to require. And we will talk to you next week.